welcome to episode 3 of the DW podcast. Again, thanks very much to everybody that's tuned into the first two. The first one's with Liam Grimshaw, who plays for Motherwell Football Club, and the second one's with Gordon Duncan, the host of Super Scoreboard, phone in on Clyde One Radio. If you've not listened to them, go back and listen to them, give us some feedback, start for the start. I should have said this before now, but if you are listening, make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully that'll get us a few more listeners in the long term. So today I am joined by superstar DJ and the brainchild behind Ovosi clothing, Fraser Stuart. So thanks very much for coming on.
Nah, pleasure, mate. It was I think we spoke about it for a few weeks, but obviously you had stuff on last week, and then Monday wasn't available, so it was obviously. So
Fraser, just to give you a wee bit of background, is a DJ, a Scottish DJ from Lanarkshire, who seems to be taking over the world at the moment.
It's going well. Just kind of taking it step by step, but it just all kind of happened quite fast, to be honest, man. I wasn't really trying to. Well, obviously I was taking it serious, but it just kind of still happened quite naturally. It wasn't as if it was forced or kind of. So it's going pretty well, man.
Tell us a bit of background then. How did you get into the DJing?
Well, when I stayed in Ibiza, I was obviously kind of around the music scene, into clubbing, and then in Motherwell, myself and Nick were involved in So Local, so we always kind of DJed locally, but we always wanted to kind of take it into Glasgow and have a more serious approach on the kind of club nights. So that's when we started Incept, and then we took it into Glasgow, and it's just kind of developed from there, to be honest, man. So it's still going pretty well.
So what age were you when you first picked up a pair of decks or a CD? Because you use decks, don't you?
Aye.
It's not like laptops,
still decks,
laptops as well.
It's weird because in this generation, people kind of learn digitally, and then they learn CDs, USBs, and then they'll try and mess about with records. So it's like completely backwards, man. And in the 90s or 80s, whatever, it would be vinyl, and then they would maybe move on to USBs, and then people would maybe experiment with digital stuff. So it's just obviously the generation we were in, and just the way technology's developed as well. So
I suppose from my background, I've always kind of played in bands and stuff, and you're coming into music, like I could pick up a guitar, for example, and try and teach myself something, but you almost go to, a lot of people would go to guitar lessons or drum lessons or piano lessons.
Definitely.
But it's not really like that in the DJs. There's no really anybody that you'd go, can you teach me how to be a DJ?
There isn't at all, man. And it's kind of basically just a case of, for me it was a case of pretty much winging it, man, because I had a studio flat. When I moved out of the house when I was 18, I had a studio flat, and that's where I kind of learned. Well, sorry, I got a copy of Ableton, and that's when I was learning to produce stuff, but nobody ever kind of taught me how to use it. So it's like it's one of the main kind of software that people can use to write music, but you can. It's a pretty complex software that you can use with internal or external hardware. For my setup, I was always kind of using internal stuff, and then I've started kind of using drum machines and synths, but I would actually, because nobody's ever taught me and I've not studied it, I would like to kind of know the kind of more advanced route of kind of the modular stuff, and just a more analog setup, to be honest. But that's something I'm probably going to try and develop over the next few years. But just now it's kind of working for me, do you know what I mean? So I've not found the need to kind of develop to that stage just now. But
so what age are you now?
Just turned 25 last week there.
So you've been DJing for 8 years, I suppose?
8 years, aye. It's been pretty. Seems about 5 years now, to be honest. But because at the start you're not really seen it as a career at the start, man. It's just a kind of hobby, a kind of like lifestyle aspect as well. You're going clubbing, you're DJing at the weekend, you're going to after parties. You maybe set up a set of decks and an iron board and start playing tunes. So you don't really see it as a career, but that's when I'd released tracks under my name, Fraser Stuart, and then had some great responses. Like some of the biggest DJs in the world were playing it, man. So at the start it seemed pretty surreal, man. Like, I can remember we were in Ibiza, Ibiza. There was maybe like 10 of us there, and I just finished a track called Layer Cake, and
named after the film.
I had the sample of the Facts of Life scene, so that was kind of sampled into it, and I'd got it signed to a French label, but the release date wasn't until like July, and this would have been the first week in June, so maybe like the 1st or 3rd of June, and there was maybe 8 or 9 years in Ibiza clubbing, and Joseph Capriati was playing, and obviously we'd been drinking all day, so we were obviously pretty mad with it. And then I can remember it was like maybe it was quite near the start of his set. I was positive I could hear my tune, but anyway.
Were you just drunk?
What's that?
That's what you were just
no, I was positive. At first I thought, So I was like, nah, I'm not going to say anything, man. I don't got a right tip, man. If I said there's my tune and it wasn't, so I never said anything, man. And then fucking...
But surely you must have wanted to say to your pals, listen.
No, so about 20 seconds went and I was like, that's definitely layer cake, man. And then it just, as soon as the first vocal came in, just like three of my pals just jumped to my back. What fucking yes! So I was
you had no idea it was going to
No. I think I'd just turned 20 at the time. But I made that track when I was 19 in my wee studio flat in Bellshill.
Right.
And then I can remember I was just like, that's fucking mental, man. Like, but what happened was, because I didn't even know how this worked at the time, so when I'd got that signed up, the label had like an online distribution, like promo campaign. So they would have all the kind of main DJs on a mailing list and they'd send out the promo. And then...
to every DJ on it, all the songs.
But it's in the DJ's best interest to obviously have the unreleased music because nobody else would have it.
Ah, right, okay.
So
it's almost like an exclusive for them.
It's very exclusive, that's how it's a kind of win-win. The label can get exposure from the DJ playing it, and then the DJs get the chance to play kind of like unreleased, fresh music. So I still couldn't get my head around it, man, so I contacted the guys who owned the label and I was like, fucking Capra, you just played the Layer Cake in Ibiza, man. And they actually happened to play both the tracks in the EP, and I was like, how have they got it, man? I never sent it to them. And then he obviously explained that it's on the promo campaign. I was like, oh right, that makes sense. And that's...
Did you get the chance to speak to the guy Capri?
I've met him a couple of times after that, man.
Right.
But when I met him, obviously that'd be 5 years ago now, but when I met him recently, he's been playing my new stuff, man, so I was like, oh fucking hell, he thought I was French or something, man, because obviously it's like Frazier or something, I don't know. And then he's like, I met him in Sub Club and he's like, I can't believe that's you. He's like, keep sending me stuff and all that. I've kind of kept in contact online through him, so.
It's interesting when you mentioned like the DJs get the first shot at it, or they get the promo sent out, because I get this impression that DJs, when you think of DJs or people that aren't that into the music scene think of DJs, you think of some guy playing in the local pub or playing in campus in Glasgow,
you do.
And they wouldn't want to play a fresh track because nobody would know it. You go into these nightclubs, or I don't know what word you'd use to describe it, but your bog standard nightclub,
commercial
music. They want to play these songs that everybody's
on the
heard,
charts and stuff.
That's in the charts. If they were to rock up and play in the garage or campus a song that you'd done that nobody'd heard of, people would be going, oh, what's that? How? What would you say the difference is between?
I don't know, man. I suppose it's just about being kind of more artistic instead of just like, that's in the charts, it must be good. Like, go and find the music yourself, find out if it's good. And if it's, I don't know, man, like, every DJ or producer should have their own sound, so you should be kind of looking for something that fits into your sound, your sets, and just kind of taking it from there. But even for techno, obviously you've got beatport, but I've seen DJs who play just like the top 10 tracks and people don't appreciate that at all, man.
It's almost like there's a bit of a snobbery around it. Not a snobbery.
No, there totally is. In techno there definitely is, man. Techno snobs, man. And
would you say you are?
Nah, I wouldn't say I'm a techno snob. I take my sound and I take it quite serious, man. Like, enough to not be too commercial, but not like kind of fucking be too much a snob. Do you know what I mean? But you notice the difference when you play in the UK and then go and play in somewhere like Berlin or something like that, man. It's just like, it's a different kind of atmosphere. It's different. The warm up DJs before, you're like, fucking hell, man, that's amazing, man. You've never kind of heard that music before, and then you need to think like, what can I play that's kind of fresh? And every time I've played, it's always been amazing. But I suppose that's why, like, in Glasgow, you're only playing for like 90 minutes if you're lucky. No, don't get me wrong, sometimes two hours, but if you're opening like Sub Club, you're playing before an international guest, so you're maybe not playing your best tracks, your kind of peak time kind of tracks, so you sometimes don't get a chance to play that kind of music. So that's why I'm quite looking forward to the Frazier all night long at the Ferry, because you get a chance to actually kind of play all the music you want to play and just kind of play at your best, effectively. So
we'll come on to that in a wee bit later on.
You
mentioned one of the nights that you've got coming up, but rewinding back to the start, when you says that your first club night was called So Loco, and you were going under your own name, Fraser Stuart, at the time. So
I suppose it was just after I came back from Ibiza, so I was just kind of happy just to be in the kind of club scene, to be honest, man. I wasn't really, at the time, I don't think I was taking it that serious. Obviously I was taking it serious enough, but it was just a hobby then, I suppose. So
and when your first track get played in Amnesia, how did you get it to this record label? How did you?
Well, it was a DJ, Matt Cesari, who I became really good pals with.
Because you were staying in Ibiza?
Aye. Three summers I done over there, so seems about 10 years ago now, but it was 18, 19 and 20, so 8, 7, 6 years ago, so it's quite a wee while ago now. But when I met Matt Cesare, we actually booked him for was that Soloco? I can't even remember, man. We booked him for Soloco, so we always had that kind of personal relationship, and I kind of spoke to him saying, I think before I sent him the stuff, I'd already kind of arranged to get him to bring him to Glasgow, and I said, look, I've got these tracks I've been working on, I'd love to send you them for your new label kind of thing. And I'd sent him over, and he's like, their two tracks are amazing, man, we'd like to sign him up, and then just kind of went from there. But as my sound developed, I kind of noticed, I think I was just getting that excited to release tracks. I was releasing stuff that I wasn't even that happy with, to be honest. I was just like, get this release out, man, I'm on that label.
You're rushing it because you want to ride that wave on.
Stuff that wasn't even mixed and mastered properly and anything, man, just getting too excited and just sending it out. So that's when I kind of thought, I knew more about producing, man, so I felt as if I'd kind of I developed my sound a wee bit better, and I wanted to start pursuing a kind of career basically, man. So that's when I started Frazier stuff. This time 3 years ago, man, but it's crazy, man. I think it's only been 3 years, but it seems like it's been longer than that. But I suppose it's probably been from learning stuff through the kind of early stages under my Fraser stuff, and then developing into a more kind of serious approach. But the last year's been amazing.
How did you go with the Frazier?
Well, my mates always called me
Fraser, don't they?
Aye. My
like
mates,
TV show?
Smokey Joe and fucking stuff like that. Now my mates always called me Fraz, and then was one mate in particular, I'm sure he always used to call me Frazier. But stupidly enough, when I started it, I never even clicked on that obviously that was how they spelt Fraser. I thought it was spelt different for some reason, man. So that's probably my biggest regret about it. I wish I put maybe an apostrophe, or maybe put like a hyphen in between the Fraz and the IER or something. I don't know. But Will.i.am, Frazi.er.
And you compare yourself to Will.i.am?
What's that?
Comparing yourself to Will.i.am?
No, I'm saying just like the way his name is.
Bigger than the Black Eyed
Frazier. But it's quite funny, man. Still, even the first time when I met Adam Bear, who owns Drum Code, which is one of the biggest labels in the world, when I met him, he actually came up to me and he was like, so you're Fraser, right? And I was just like, oh, it's Frazier, but aye, Fraser, aye. So it's just funny, it's just obviously, but then when we've played in Paris and stuff like that, they obviously say Frazier, but it's obviously just
that's
the way they pronounce it. It's more of a French spelling, I would say. What's
the process like when you sign up to one of these labels then? Do they say you have to release X amount of tracks on our label, or is it?
Even before you even get to that stage, you need to be exclusive to like not releasing on too many labels, man.
Because you're on Free just now, is that right?
Three main ones, but I'm on Frazier and probably 8 labels in total, counting the kind of early releases. But it's labels I'm not really. It's Free in particular that I'm kind of associated with it, for like label billing and stuff like that. I've got like Frazier, Sleaze, Second State, and then my label Elemental. But it's always the kind of bigger labels that you associate yourself with, and then you become part of that kind of brand and stuff. So it's still going pretty well, man.
So you've got your own label?
I launched my own label, Elementra. When was that, man? Try to think now. I think it was about 18 months ago I started it. It was mainly just as a platform to release my own music, man, because I get requests every day to sign to like this Spanish label, Brazilian label and that. It's like, but you're not going to gain anything from it, so I wanted to keep my music exclusive, but then I thought if I had my own label, it's a good opportunity to kind of release my own stuff and kind of create a platform from it, so
totally.
It worked out quite well, man.
Who else have you got on it then? Is there other local artists or international artists? Or?
3 French guys. Funny enough, because obviously Frazier's French, but a guy called Wex 10, Victoria 52 and Unkelvin. I've done compilations, obviously Nick, who I do Insect with, he's released under his alias Radiate.
Right. He's
got a cool track in that entry. And then Redosa, who I done Invasion with, which is on Carol Cox's label, man. So
brilliant. That's one of the biggest names in the game, isn't it?
Aye. I released my debut album on my label as well. So to be honest, I've not released as much as I probably should have, but I've not been in any rush to kind of do it. I've been there's an Italian guy, Mita. He's releasing a 4-track EP next month, Wide Angle, that'll be on my label. So just try to keep it quite exclusive, man. I'm not in any rush. there's always a concept behind it with there's a local designer who does the artwork, and he bases it on raw elements, because the name Elementor was just like, I was going to call it Elements, but then I thought I wanted to put something with a twist, so it was like Elementor. Doesn't mean anything, but it's just like the tagline's raw elements engineered for the dance floor. So
it's got a good ring to it.
It's got a good ring to it, aye. So the artwork's always based on kind of raw pictures and stuff. So you can take a picture of a plant, for example, and then just distort it and just edit in Photoshop and then turn it into a piece of artwork.
And how do you get in touch with these folk then, if you've got folk from France and Spain? And
it's crazy, man. The power of social media is mental, man. You can interact with people all over the world, and that's something I've probably done pretty well, man, since I started, because even from the early stages, I've always been interacting with kind of French producers, German, Italian. It's you build such a personal relationship with it. Like some people you've never even met as well, man. It's just purely online.
You feel like you're pals with them
because you just spoke, and it's just that interest in general. Like it's such a strong kind of connection because you're into the same style of music and same kind of culture. So,
is there anybody you've met in it that you thought, I really don't like you, you're a big shot, or you're
met in person or met
in person or over internet? I mean, imagine when you're sending your tracks out to people, it sounds like you've got a great response, but there must be some that they're either rude back to you or they just don't get back to you.
No, for years, man, even when I was sending the drum code stuff, you don't get a reply, but you need to remember these guys are getting 3,000-4,000 demos a day, so it's just like a sort of lottery ticket to even get it listened to, man, never mind released on. So it's just all about, you need to build that connection, man. I think you need to do it in stages, I think, but I can always remember people like Adam Bear said he listens to young artists for 3 years, he'll play their stuff for 3 years before he would consider releasing them, so he's played my stuff for 3 years now, so hopefully
you get released for him.
I'm still always need to consider it. I suppose it's the biggest label in the world, isn't it? So that's how you build a kind of profile from getting on these labels.
Would you? So what, he says that he's been playing your stuff for 3 years. Is there people out there playing your tracks and you don't know they're playing them?
A lot of the time, but I suppose like with the live stream and stuff like Be It TV and the Mixmag streams, but any big festivals you can just listen back to the full set. So
of course,
that's been a great way to find. Because if it wasn't for live streams, there'd be so many times big DJs have played my tracks at some of the biggest festivals in the world, and I wouldn't even have knew, do you know what I mean? So, but even with Instagram though, you always, people who like your music, they would recognise your tracks, so they can send you stuff. And
totally. Do you feel with like Spotify and stuff? I certainly think you see it with bands. I don't know if it's the same for DJs that people just don't make money out of music anymore. It's almost live shows you have to do, or is it different in the DJ game?
Nah, it's pretty similar, man. Obviously all the online distribution companies like Beatport and stuff, they're taking all the money, and then the labels, they say they'll give you royalties, but it's very rare you'll get your 25%. But a lot of DJs, especially in Berlin and stuff, are using Bandcamp.
Right.
So you can buy like people's all their digital tracks online. You can buy their vinyls, even like their merchandise and stuff. So I think that's how the independent and kind of more underground labels, if you like, will be making that money.
Totally. I almost feel that when I see gig tickets online now, I think, I went and seen that band 10 years ago and it was 12 quid. I mean, it's like 30-40 quid.
No, it's crazy.
And you feel yourself complaining about it until you think, when was the last time I bought a CD? Do you know what I mean? And it's almost that ignorance there. That
Spotify, I think, is good for people streaming and stuff, but there's no, for making money, it's all about, you need to release your big track to get the gigs off it. Whereas people in the kind of commercial industry will be getting royalties and stuff off their sales. So
it's that real catch-22. Like you need to be on Spotify to get folk heard. But if you're on it, then you're almost giving it away for free.
Definitely. Well, Techno in particular was always about the music, man. It was never about the money. But I think with the rise in festivals and social media, like people want to see all these big names, they want to go to all these big festivals, but it's killing the club culture as well, which is a big problem, especially in Glasgow. Aye, big time. Because if you think, man, if you go to a festival and there's maybe 20 headliners on it, and you can go and see, well, no, you're not going to see them all, obviously, but there's 20 headliners playing for £50, or you can go to a club night for £20 and see one DJ. Like,
that's a no-brainer almost, isn't it?
It's the experience as well, I
suppose when it comes to clubbing though, a lot of it's down to the venue,
especially nowadays, it is definitely down to the venue, Like, people actually prefer playing in more intimate clubs now, like Sub Club and even Club 69 in Paisley as well. I've
seen you've done a few gigs in there,
My friend Ivan, who runs Platform 18, he's just took it over and he's doing a great job, man, because I can only imagine how hard and stressful it is to get all these big names to the clubs, because the festivals are now aren't only kind of killing the club culture, man, they're making it harder for upcoming DJs, because the fees for DJs are just ridiculous now, man. Like, obviously you wouldn't be complaining if you were getting that kind of money, I suppose, but some DJs are getting 15 grand to play for 90 minutes and all that. It's techno music, man. It's like it's not commercial, do you know what I mean? So it's crazy, man.
What you obviously came through the ranks, so to speak. When was it you thought, I'm making it in this game? I'm doing really well.
When I got my first big release, it was Blind Spot on Panpot's label.
Right, so and, poster here,
aye, that's when I played at Watergate for the Tisilo's birthday. He invited me over to play, so it was crazy, man, because Panpot growing up were me and Nick's favourite DJs, do you know what I mean? Because me and Nick played as a duo, so we were always inspired by Panpot, and we always thought, like, fucking hell, man, these guys are proper cool, man. And then
how did you get in touch with them then?
I got to know them at Sonar, actually. It was funny enough, it was actually a Watergate pool party, man.
Right.
And I always used to carry USBs. I still do sometimes, with all my tracks in them.
Right.
And I got speaking to them, and I gave them the USB, and I said, I'd love for you to kind of listen to my music kind of stuff. And then a week or so went by, and I was on holiday at the time with my girlfriend. And for some reason, the email had went to my junk. But it was
no way.
But in the USB, I'd left like a Word document with my email on it, and he sent me an email saying, these tracks are amazing, and gave me advice and stuff, because at the time my production wasn't, I did some big releases, but it was still like miles off getting played or signed up by these big labels, you know what I mean? So it gave me some good feedback, we stayed in touch. I'd sent them over Ovosi stuff, and they loved it, man.
Right.
And any time we were going to gigs, there would all sort of kind of guest lists and stuff, and we went to Sonus Festival in Croatia. I can't remember, I think it was 6 days in total, and they sorted out a full week pass backstage for all 6 days.
No way.
So we're,
that must have been surreal. Like, this is my
crazy, man. We're just like walking backstage, and it was just like all the biggest DJs in the world, and every person you meet was like a director for Beat TV, somebody who worked for Resident Advisor. Do you know what I mean? It's like
big names in the game.
Big names, aye. But I suppose when you're in that kind of level, you're associating with that kind of people in it. So it was a good experience in the game. Because we were standing behind the decks when they were playing it, kind of makes you understand what it's like to kind of connect with a bigger audience, and kind of it was crazy, man. It was really good.
Did you find it hard to go up to everything after selfies or say?
Aye, well, funny enough, when we were in Ibiza last year, Panpot and Amelie Lenz were playing at DC10. So it was me, Aaron and my friend Mark. So all three were backstage in there, and Ronaldo was there, the Brazilian Ronaldo.
Fat Ronaldo?
Fat Ronaldo, aye. And
hopefully he won't watch this and see he's calling him fat.
No. So he was just cutting about mad with it, man. So it was...
Was he?
Aye, just cutting about mad with it. And then there was obviously like Seth Troxler, Peggy Goo, like all these massive names were just cutting about. But obviously I was standing with Panpot at the time, so I was like, I don't want to look like just a wee guy going up and asking people for pictures. So I was like, I'll hold fire, man, I'll not ask Ronaldo for a picture. And then I went to go and get a drink with Panpot, and then I came back, and then my two mates were like, look at this, man, we've got a picture with Ronaldo. I was quite gutted now that I never got a picture. I've seen him a few times actually, man, like kicking about, because he stays in Ibiza, aye. Does he? Aye, well he does in summer anyway. I don't know if he goes back to Brazil in winter or whatever, but nah, he was kicking about with 3 birds or something like that, man, just loving life.
He's put on some amount of weight as well, the guy, hasn't he?
I think he does love techno, man, and from what I heard, he's just got guest list for life at DC10.
Really?
But it's mental because DC10 is obviously one of the kind of more underground, well, it is the most underground club in Ibiza. It's not like Pasha or Ushuaia, but it's like, it's all about kind of money, the bottles, the VIP stuff. It's like totally underground, man. So
if you're going there, you'd be into your music almost.
Nobody's got an ego of that there, so that's why he can go there, he can get steaming, and nobody's annoying him, do you know what I mean? So
apart from your pals getting
apart from my 2 pals, aye. That's why you don't let Brits abroad, man. Nah, it was quite funny though, man. It was a good night as well.
Hey, talking about Ibiza and stuff, when was your first gig over there? Because you went over and, as you said, stayed for a few years, but were you playing when you were over there at first?
Well, the first season I'd done, I was just obviously partying, man, but I was promoting my friend's boat party, so that gave me an insight to kind of like just how things worked over there. But Ibiza's quite a hard market, so you've got so much competition, but you think it'd be easy, man, and it's the hardest place ever to do a night. And when we done the boat parties last year, like, we thought they would just all sell out, man, and we realised it was like proper struggle, man. But even the biggest clubs over there last year, like Ibiza, where else, man, even like the new space, a lot of the nights aren't selling, man, and this is like millions of pounds getting flung at it. So
why is that?
I think Ibiza in general is just not what it used to be. I don't think it's about the music anymore. It's like people who used to go to Magaluf, know that that's a problem, but people who would go to Magaluf and stuff just for the piss up now go to Ibiza. Do you know what I mean? When it was always more about the kind of music, the club, and the lifestyle and the culture kind of thing. But I think it's just commercialised, isn't it, man? But then again, it maybe is social media again. I don't know. But you
almost feel that, well, me not being as clued up in techno, you almost feel now that the holy grail used to be Ibiza, now it's Berlin or it's Germany.
Holland as well, man. The festivals in Holland are amazing now. Awakenings, Deckmantle, and just Awakenings do the Gashouder and the Summer Festival, man. It's a great experience. Right. And then Germany do Time Warp Festival, and they're all kind of related. They're all kind of
it's the same artists, and
it's almost like a hotel chain though. So once you're in playing at their festivals, you play for all of them. But there's no middle market. That's the thing, man. Like people say to me, how do you get the gigs? And I can't even play in my local bar. And it's just like, you can't really explain it, man. It's hard. Like, you need to just stick to your sound. You need to be releasing music, and you need to just build on it, man. It doesn't happen overnight. Like I've been in this studio till like 4 o'clock in the morning for like a full year in a row, man. It was just like, you just need to get your groundwork done and just kind of build from there. So
it's almost a lifestyle choice, eh?
It is.
If you're going to do it, commit to it.
I think, what year was it? 2017, I spent pretty much my full year in the studio, man. Honestly, it was crazy. You're waking up feeling like rough, man, as if you've been drinking. Like banging headache, blurry eyes, tinnitus. It was mental, man. But that's just kind of, no, obviously that I'm advising that you do that, but unless you know how to switch off, which I didn't at the time, you find yourself working. You actually find yourself being less creative as well because you're overdoing it. Yeah. So if you're in a structure, having studio days and just kind of planning like that, you tend to find yourself making better music, man. So that's what I would advise to anyone looking to get busy in the studio.
Good. What's been your best gig you've played? Because I mean we've touched on loads there, but you've been out to Singapore.
Aye. So when I played, the best gig I've played in Germany is Sisyphus, which is just like, it was a scene at fuck knows what, man. It was just mental. So when the night manager took me into the club, we walked through and it was like, have you been to DC10 in Ibiza?
No.
So it's like, there was an outdoor bit that was just like all kind of sand based, just like industrial huts. But once you get in the main room, it was like a proper club. It wasn't like the way it was outside. Like, there was this abandoned car that had been set on fire like in the grounds of the nightclub. Right. And then when I walked through, the night manager, I don't know what he'd done, man. He had like a mad button or something, and there was like a water fountain, and he said, "Watch this," and he pressed the button, and like the water fountain had petrol or something in it. So when he pressed the button, it must have sparked something. It was just like a big flamethrower in there. And I was like, this is fucking mental, man. And then I was playing in it's a famous room called the Hammer Alley, right, which must mean like fucking the hard room or something like that. And so I went in. I was opening 1 till 4, which is obviously later than what nightclubs here are open till. Mm-hmm. So that was the opening set because I was travelling back quite early the next day. So I said I'll play that and then I can try and get a couple of hours sleep. So I was playing 1 till 4 and I'd planned, it's like a 3-hour set. Normally, sometimes I only play for 90 minutes, man. So I was like, I'll play kind of warm up for the first hour. I can remember within the first 2 tracks, there was at least 80 people there, but you don't think 80's a lot, but 80 people close to you in a club's quite a lot, man. So it was people just, nobody on their phone, some people just dancing just themselves, man, and just like proper going for it, man. And it's like, fucking hell, this is mental, man. At the time I hadn't experienced anything like that. And then got to like 3rd or 4th track and I said, I'm going to need to fucking pitch the tempo up a bit here. So I started picking it up, and then within the first hour, the club was completely packed. And just complete energy, man. Like nobody, no idiots in the crowd. There wasn't even many people drinking as well. That was a crazy thing, man. People just take it, like people just wearing like running trousers and stuff, just taking it proper serious, man. And that's when I kind of realised how passionate people. Obviously, I knew how big the scene was, but you don't realise at the time how serious people do take it, man. And then the first time, so that club, they don't do any online promotion. So when I get booked, there was no Facebook event. There was no like, I think they maybe list it, I don't know if it's in RA, but they maybe list it in some German outlets, just telling you the lineup, but that's it. No set times of it. Because they want people to go for the music, not for the DJ or the... and every DJ gets paid €330, which isn't a lot for some of the bigger DJs, and that's normally more than what I would play for in Europe and stuff. And every DJ gets €330. There's no like ego, there's nothing like that. So I played a set, and it's like one of the best sets I've played. And I can remember saying to my mate, I was like, I'm fucking raging, man, because so many people wouldn't have knew who I was. Because after German people were speaking to me, man, and nobody could speak English and stuff, and they couldn't believe the English people. The people I spoke to who could speak English couldn't believe that I was from Scotland, man. They thought I was German or like Asian or something like that. People were asking if I was Asian, and fun enough, on the Monday, my agent got a request from a gig in Singapore, and the promoter, so the owner of the club, who is the promoter, was there with her boyfriend, and she wanted to book me because she had heard my set. She was like, I fucking loved that, man. But the club in Singapore was it's the most underground club in Asia. It's a proper cool club, so I just couldn't get my head around that I played at probably the second most underground club in fucking Berlin, and got booked to play in the most underground club in Asia. But it just shows you, like,
it's amazing, eh? Because people are actually there for the music.
That's how, definitely, man. I couldn't get my head around that. And see when my agent told me, I was like, no way, man, that can't be right. And I searched up the club and I was like, this is minted, man. So from that gig, so I think that was maybe September or October, and from that gig I managed to build a full Asia tour around it. So that was in the following May, so like 5 months after it or something. So
that's unbelievable.
It was mental, man.
What were you thinking before you went over there? Were you nervous? Do you get nervous?
I tend to actually get more nervous in the more... See if I'm playing in Germany in a small intimate club, you know for a fact that everybody's listening to your music, and as if like, I feel as if people would notice a fault. Whereas see when you play in Glasgow, I reckon you could probably completely fuck up a track and nobody would even notice, man. Not that I often do that, but I think people they're obviously they're engaging more, but I don't know. I don't think they're more judgmental, but I think they're kind of... I don't know, I just feel as if they've noticed kind of more stuff, and sometimes I get more nervous if I'm playing in a smaller club. And when playing in festivals and that, I don't really tend to get nervous, man. Because I think sometimes you're that far away though, you sometimes feel a wee bit disconnected though. That's why when I'm playing, I always try and, if I'm doing a night anyway, I'll try and always have the DJ on the floor to create that kind of personal atmosphere and that connection, man. I think it's quite funny when people can high-five you and just fucking, what's happening, mate? And all that. Obviously it's annoying sometimes, but it's when you're too far away in like a big stage, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's sometimes you don't feel the same when you drop a big track. I don't know. Do
you get requests? Because I suppose like these DJs in pubs,
sometimes
it's like, oh, can you play whatever?
It's different though. Like when you play, when I first started playing in bars, you get requests for fucking stupid stuff, man. Which all the chart music. But you tend to find when you're playing in clubs, especially in Scotland, if somebody's asking for a request, it's actually for one of your tracks. So say like Frazier Blind Spot or something like that, and you sometimes do end up playing it just as a laugh, or just not for a laugh, but obviously if you weren't going to play it, you just play it just to kind of please the people that are there. But I always try and play tracks that I think are my best tracks that I don't think people will know. I try and avoid playing the obvious crowd pleasers now and again, but sometimes you need to do it, especially in festivals and stuff, if it's a wider audience. But I always try and play more exclusive stuff, man, and people are like, fucking hell, what's that? Because I know myself, I'm out clubbing in the year, son, and you're like, fucking hell, I want to try and find that, or what music's that, man? So I always try and find myself playing more exclusive stuff.
That's interesting. What's the worst gig you've played?
The worst gig I've
must
played?
Must have been one that you thought, not necessarily that you were bad, but either the crowd were bad, the venue was terrible, maybe when you were coming through. And
I'm trying to think I'll tell you one actually. Me and Nick played in, we got a request to play in Newcastle. I've heard now this club is actually amazing. So
your views are tainted?
This was I reckon it was about 5 years ago. So he sent a request for it, and then I said, well, and he said he was maybe looking at somebody else. I said, well, why don't you book me and Nick and we'll both come down and play? So I was thinking, it was my early stages of travelling. I was like, it'd be better to go down with Nick as well. Me and Nick have been playing together for a few years now. So I was like, we'll go down and we'll make a laugh at kind of thing. So we went down, I can't even remember, and we got the train down now, and then the guy met us at the train station, and we took us down. So we picked a hotel just to make sure it was a half decent one. And I can remember we went to see the club, and there was this outdoor terrace bit. Well, this is quite cool, man. And he was like, this is kind of the developed smoking area, so this is just kind of taken off. We'll have you in the main room. So he took us up to the fucking main room. We were kind of looking about, and we were like, you're at it, man, this isn't the main room. There was like a carpet on the floor. So you can imagine fucking the amount of drinks that have been spilt in it, man. It just looked at the Klansman, man. It was fucking hilarious. But the DJ booth was over in the corner. But normally you play kind of parallel to the audience. Right. But this was as if it was the fucking light technician box or something in the corner. So we're playing in there, and then he introduced us to the warm up guy, and he's like, "This is fucking Zach or whatever. You'll fucking turn the heating on for you." This is what he was saying. You'll get the place nice and warm. You turn the heating on. Me and that were looking at each other going, he'll turn the heating on, you'll get this nice and warm. I was like, this guy's taking the piss out of us, but he wasn't, man. It was it was totally serious, man. And I can remember, like, I got to the stage for the first time ever, me and Nick just started taking the piss. We were like doing stupid effects and just like turning the music down and going, here we just that's how terrible the crowd was, man. And then it was a proper young crowd as well. Like, I think we were only 20 or 21, but it was like definitely like an unders, man. And then the sound was terrible, man. I can remember the right speaker sounded like a frog fucking croaking or something, man. It was just a horrible noise. And I think we actually told the guy, look, maybe we're finished, man. Like 3/4 through the set, we just said, "This is that bad." It was pretty bad, man. But at the time, we didn't have a profile at the time, so I think it would have been worse if there was people
came to see you.
I don't think there was really anybody there to see us in particular at the time. It's one of the ones you're just there for the night. So fucking that's probably the worst. Under Frazier though, in the last 3 years, I've played some hilarious gigs, but I've never really played any like bad ones, man. Even if it's a shite sound system, the crowd there, that's normally kind of up for it. More up for it. Aye. I'm trying to think though, man. I played. Sometimes I find when I first started kind of touring as such, I found myself like, fuck man, I felt as if nobody knew who I was, kind of thing. So you'd just been booked for having big releases, but you were playing to a crowd who maybe weren't really that into the music. So when you're playing to people in maybe fucking Paris who don't know who your music are, and they're just kind of standing looking at you, man, sometimes you can feel a wee bit under pressure, but that's still part of the learning curve, I think, man. Just understanding crowds and just understanding like the artistic kind of I don't know, man. It's hard to explain.
Does it vary from country to country what the crowd are?
Oh, definitely. Aye. The UK is a really young crowd, man. When you play in Europe, it tends to go from like 22 to 30. The UK is like an average, I'd say 18 to 21, 22, man. It's a really young crowd. I'm trying to think. Singapore was amazing, man. It was like a proper community. It was like people who were in their 30s and that, who would just go to the club every week. They just have a proper trust in the club and the bookings and that. So it was amazing, man. Even weekly there will still be people who were at that gig who messaged me saying, when are you coming back? So
honestly,
we have been working on another date. So it was meant to be in May, but I don't think it's going to happen in May, but will hopefully happen pretty soon, man. I had a request from Tokyo, but when was it? The end of last summer. I'm dying to play in Tokyo. I just think the culture in Tokyo is amazing. I just couldn't imagine just wandering in Tokyo thinking I'm playing in here tonight, man.
Come out like the Beatles and everybody's waiting at the airport.
Yeah. I'd love to go to see the Shibuya crossing, the mad famous crossing. It's just so busy. Right. It'd be quite cool, just go there and just cut a bit, man. And obviously the fashion side of the stuff's quite cool in Tokyo as well. And a lot of kind of fashion labels take inspiration from the culture over there, so quite cool, man.
What have you got lined up for this year then?
Gig wise?
How's it shaping up?
In terms of European gigs, the last couple of months has actually been the least ever, probably for the last 2 years, but I think it's just, I'm not too worried about it. I think it was down to a mixture of stuff. I had a few of my big tracks get held up with the kind of release stage, I moved agencies because my agent got a new job with a massive music publishing company. So been a wee bit of a slow start. I never had the big releases that I normally had to kind of boost that. And then just the club scene in general is harder for upcoming DJs. So like I was saying about the festivals, it's harder for people only really wanting to go and see DJs they know. So promoters aren't taking a risk and kind of smaller profile DJs, but
Sure.
hopefully within the next year that'll not be an issue, but we'll wait and see.
You've got a big night coming up though in Glasgow.
Aye, Frazier all night long. It's my first ever one in Scotland is just myself. Me and Nick had done one before at SWG3, but the 2 years, but never done it before. And people always complain saying 2 hours isn't enough or 90 minutes isn't enough, so it means I get a chance to play 5 hours and play an opening set, peak time and some closing stuff. I like to play some kind of 80s, 90s and disco and stuff just for the last closing track. So
Brilliant.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's something, it's a concept as well, with the Renfrew Ferry being quite a famous venue with Daft Punk playing there in the 90s. And when you look at the interviews, people were saying that they thought the ferry was going to sink because it was just people going fucking mental, man. Aye. So it's pretty crazy that they play it. But when you see it now, it's a shame. It is quite run down, but for Techno, that kind of suits that. But it'd be a great investment for somebody to buy it because bands do play there. But
Aye,
I don't know if it gets used as much as it probably could.
It's a cracking venue because it's got the bit up the stairs and the
Aye, the balcony. Aye.
Yeah. Am I right in saying you go in up the top and then you need to go down?
Yeah, it's like an elevated kind of like a pier kind of.
Aye.
And
when you go down the stages below you.
Aye, when you go down the stages below you, but there's a bit of it, it's like you can touch the ceiling, man. So it's, and then the main bit's quite open, and you've got the balcony, so it's a good atmosphere, man.
What's the story with Daft Punk playing there? I've seen that in your promo video that you put.
I don't know if it was a Slam night, but I know I think it would have been a Slam night. Slam supported them, I think, and then Daft Punk played there, but it would have been around about probably when all the big releases were out as well. Right. So I don't know if they played with the Spaceman outfit right enough, but it would have been. That would have been mental. I think for people to look back and say I was there would be pretty crazy, man.
That's cool.
It's almost like the street rave scene in Motherwell as well. Like people always like say I was there. The fucking Air Pavilion and Presswick. So I think hopefully in my generation I can try and create something like that so people look back and go, I can remember that night he played there. That's closed now, but that was a great venue kind of thing because things do evolve pretty fast. So it's good to try and make history or just put on a good kind of party as such.
It's for a good cause as well.
Aye, we're going to be supporting Chris's House, which I don't think get enough praise for what they do, especially how badly affected our area in particular has been. It's pretty worrying, man.
I suppose for folk listening, Chris's House is would you say it's a suicide awareness charity?
Suicide awareness charity, yeah. I think they're the only independent one in Scotland.
Sure.
So
I don't know a great deal about Chris's House, but what I do know is they offer counselling to bereaved families and people that are maybe going through difficult times. And
basically I think you can actually stay there as well if you are in a really bad place, but it's just all about speaking about it. That's the main thing, man. People are too scared to speak and they maybe think of, I don't know if people feel embarrassed about it or maybe
there's a real stigma about it.
There is a real bad stigma about it, but I suppose if you're in that bad a mental state you probably think, you don't know what's going through your head. It's probably speaking out the first thing that comes to your mind. So
it's almost, if you're in that mindset, the biggest barrier is actually speaking out. You know,
I would say so.
You feel so isolated.
I would say so, but they've been doing a great job, and I think with them being independent, I think they must get some sort of funding off the government, but it's probably only just covers what they're doing, or maybe just covers their premises and stuff. Because I think they maybe, I'm not too sure, but we've only went up and met them once, but we've been speaking a while to do something. So I think this is a great opportunity to do something with them, because the demographics for my club nights are the exact same as the most affected for their suicide deaths. So it's pretty scary, man.
And if you're giving it that platform and making it, taking away that taboo and that, people notice it, will you have banners and things up, or will you?
We'll have stuff at the front door, and then we'll have the charity boxes, and then maybe just leaflets and stuff. I don't really know, but the main thing is just to get the point across and to raise the awareness, and then profits from the night will go towards what they do as well. So hopefully they can develop the charity and keep doing what they're doing. Cause it's obviously a great cause, isn't it, man?
How can folk get tickets?
Resident Advisor, they're exclusive to that. They've only been on sale for 4 days now, but sold quite a lot. I'm quite surprised. I'm surprised, but you need to kind of be grateful for the kind of response it's had so far, because normally when I'm playing, you've still got like an international guest that people want to see. So, but I think if the full concept, I think sells like having the function one sound system, the ground level staging, because normally there is a stage, but when you're playing for 5 hours, I think it's important to be close to your audience and interacting with them. And the guys who used to do the slam tent at Teenie Park, they're going to do a special tube light installation.
Right.
So it's like LED tube light barriers, or maybe only like 1.5 meters long, but they set them round, but they can automate them into like chaser effects and flashing on and off. So I think the sound and light's a massive factor, a good experience for a clubber. So I think that's key to a good night.
What is it, a tenner?
£10, which is a bargain in this day and age, man. It's normally
totally.
Even a big DJ playing in a small club now is like £20 a ticket. So to play at a bigger venue and to have this kind of sound set up, and that's pretty good, man.
There is Sunday the 5th of May.
It's the first bank holiday in May, Sunday the 5th.
Get along.
10 o'clock start.
There's a wee plug for you, Fraser.
What's that?
There's a wee plug for you.
A wee plug, exactly.
Get them along. So away for DJing, you've got your own clothing line.
I started Ovosi when I actually stayed in Ibiza, but that Ovosi was actually before the DJing got pretty serious, man. So it was weird. It kind of came about. It wasn't random, but it was just a side project at the time. But I was inspired by a local fashion collector, Kerzo.
Mm-hmm.
He had a brand. I can remember I went down to his house when I was like, must have only been like 14 or 15. I just couldn't believe the stuff he had, man. And then he was doing all his printing himself. So, and then when the brand, remember 80s casual stuff, the t-shirts, when that came about, I always had the inspiration to have a printing company. But it was weird because the clothing brand came before the printing company, but obviously the two of them work well together. So it's been challenging for Ovosi though. At the time when we launched it, there wasn't really any brands, so people were kind of, don't get me wrong, people are still aware of it, but I felt it was easier to sell. Now you need to actually go down a more concept. It's all about marketing, just about having exclusive projects and just moving with the time, because even some of our older designs now, like people are wanting more minimal stuff, and even overshirts now. There's so many brands doing overshirts now, and I don't know. You just need to keep evolving it, I guess. But it's going well though, man. Our new collections are best to date. We're linking a lot more with the kind of music scene, and just keeping it like functional fashion. Before it was kind of gym range and stuff you only wear in nights out. We want to create like fashionable stuff you can wear every day, but still, like even designer tracksuits that you can still wear every day, and they're smart casual, but you can wear them on a night out as well. So that's the kind of more concept we're going down. It's just a case of taking as it comes, really. We had a big opportunity to go into House of Fraser's last year, and it was 6 months worth of planning. We're going to meetings probably fortnightly. We had a massive plan. We had all the props in place, how our area and House of Fraser was going to look. And I'd heard from someone, it was actually one of the managers in End, and he said, I'm pretty sure Frasers have got quite a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, man. I'd watch what you're doing. And I raised it up in the next meeting, and then they were still, everyone's all good.
Oh, you're joking.
Denying it, So this is a massive company like Fraser's, and this is the fucking store managers for the Glasgow store, which is obviously a massive store, man. It's probably the biggest department store in Glasgow, and they were still denying it. And then something came out in the news, and then they tried to reassure, saying, don't worry. And I delayed it a wee bit, and I'm so glad I did, because there were so many companies who were selling stuff and weren't getting their money back, and we put all our budget to this. Do you know what I mean? 6 months worth of planning. Our collection was more, we had the concept range, but we had some more kind of the OV classic and original stuff that was for a wider audience.
Sure.
We wouldn't have put all that into production if we weren't going into Fraser. So it fucked us up a wee bit, man, because we were left with thousands of pounds worth of stock that was meant to go to Fraser's, that we had to distribute between our own outlets. So it was challenging, man, but it's just one of the things. It could have worked out, and obviously never, but
I suppose for a small company or an up-and-coming company like yourself, it could have put you out of business.
Easily, man, aye. And then even before that, I don't know if you can remember, we were stocked in a store in Mayfair.
Aye, yeah.
Aye, so that was a massive opportunity, but looking back, it was an absolute scam, honestly. It was crazy.
Really?
Aye. So...
How? What do you mean?
So they approached us. They've got a store in Mayfair, Soho, New York, and somewhere else, can't remember. These massive high-end stores. So they don't buy the stock off you. You provide them the stock, and you pay them a concession fee as well. So it was like £1,200 a month.
For you to be stocked.
Aye, so we ended up paying them. So we get reeled in, fucking hell, we're going to be stocked in Mayfair. This is huge, man. You're honestly thinking at the time this could end up turning our brand into a fucking £1 million company, do you know what I mean? And
I suppose you're needing to sell almost, God, how many t-shirts are you needing to sell a month?
I know, this is why you start going out. So it was £1,200 concession. They never bought our stock outright, and even when we did sell it, they took 30%. So you're thinking you're getting 70% per item. Think of, even if you based it just on t-shirts, if you're paying £1,200, they're taking 30%. You need to sell fucking, I don't know how many t-shirts, but you need to sell 500 t-shirts to even make it worthwhile. And you're not going to do that in a massive department store with over 100 brands or whatever. So it was unfortunate to say the least, but I suppose then again it is just a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
If we had to look back now and we think the mistakes we'd made, it'd be a piece of piss, because at the time we never had any advice on suppliers. It was all self-funded. There was no support even for Business Gateway. They said they could maybe do something, and they could supply the signage for the shop. So I went to all the meetings, and then it came to the end of it, and they were like, "Oh, your store's just over 1 mile radius from the town centre." Well, I wouldn't say it's a mile radius, but they must judge it by the fucking way the car goes or something. I don't know.
Right.
So all the funding for that fell through because they said we were a mile out of the fucking town centre.
So if you were in the town centre, you'd have got it?
It's not as if Mother was a big town.
No, not at all.
It's still central, you know what I mean? It's next to the stadium, it's next to Uppercrest, probably the biggest deli in Lanarkshire, so it is central, but it's just what you're up against, I suppose, innit? But
I suppose talking there though, you sound as if you've had a few hiccups, but I would say from the outside looking in, it's been a roaring success.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. We do still tell people about the kind of the negatives or the challenges. Not negatives, but that's why you just need to kind of find a way to keep going, man, and just keep plodding through, because it is only getting harder, man. But I would still advise people, if you're passionate about doing it, just to go for it, man. We did have a lot of outgoings with the shop, office, and the staff. It's a team of 6 at one point, so an independent brand who only stocks only their brand in a small town. And when the landlord was kind of hinting to get the shop back, we did start reconsidering, like, do we still need the shop? Is it a good move? So we're like, we still wanted to keep the shop. You know what I mean? It was in the local town. It was quite a good wee thing we had going. So that was maybe, that would have been last year. That was. So we managed to keep it going for we managed to put the landlord off for maybe another 10 months, and then it just kind of came to an end. But since the shop's closed now, it's weird. It's mixed emotions. Up until the last month, I was gutted, man. And see, when it came to it, I was like, you just need to take it in and evolve and just look at the bigger picture. Because having the shop in Motherwell now, it's not going to help the brand grow any bigger. We've got the following we need in the town. People who buy the brand are still going to buy it online. Like, even when we had the shop, the DPD guy would leave the office and go like, "That's fucking around the corner." Well, I know, it's just, but you still need to post it out, because sometimes when you go and hand deliver them, like, people would mail you and say, "Can I get the postage back?" and all that. It's mental.
You don't realise that your petrol's going into it.
Exactly, time and money.
I suppose most of your sales will be online now. It's the way that things are going.
Oh, definitely, especially with social media as well. Like, Instagram's our main thing. Where even like, see the Instagram story post, see the amount of people that can view it. It's mental, man. But just now we're just studying the demographics of the brand and just looking at a kind of more serious approach with marketing. And we've only really done that in the last couple of weeks, like a more advanced route, and it's paying off already. So it's looking good, man.
Who are the demographics? What would you say is your
18 to 25, and it was actually coming up a lot of people who like sport and fitness.
Right.
whereas we were associating ourselves more with people who go out kind of clubbing, Ibiza, because obviously the brand's related to Ibiza, and I think we maybe had 18 to 30 at one point, but it's even younger than that. I think we've even dropped it to 16 to 25, right. Just to catch the kind of teenagers who are looking to bust into the small mans.
You're telling me I'm too old and too fat and,
exactly.
and not sporty enough to wear
sporty
it?
Enough. Nah, we released a gym. It's weird though that's saying that our audience is sport and fitness, because we released a gym campaign this month. It was called The Active, and our gym stuff have always done amazing. This did sell well, but it was nowhere near what we expected it to sell. But I don't know if it's just things with like Nike advancing into a more fashionable sportswear brand.
Totally.
There's a Nike outlet store just at East Kilbride at 5 miles away or whatever, mm-hmm. and you can go and pick up stuff there for bargains, and you've got all these high-end Nike running shoes coming out. So I know myself now, if I'm buying a new pair of Nike trainers for the gym, I would be looking to buy a Nike t-shirt and Nike trackies, you know what I mean?
You would be matching almost.
Matching, so I think that's what you're kind of up against. So as well as our demographics being sport and fitness, I think the sport and fitness collections and ranges has become a much harder market. So we'll probably be doing less sportswear stuff, keep that more exclusive, and then just focusing more kind of advanced functional fashion stuff.
How much effort do you put into the sourcing? What's your process? How do you think, right, this is what I want, and where am I getting it from?
Well, so our new supplier happens to be in Singapore, so when I played in Singapore we managed to go and meet him, and he actually came to the gig.
Honestly?
He came to the gig, right, with his girlfriend and his brother and his girlfriend, so the four of them came to the gig.
That's amazing.
But I was playing all night long, so I think I ended up playing for 6 hours, so...
Did he get fed off? He was away up the road?
No, he came and spoke to me in the DJ booth, but obviously we had a meeting before in his office, so that was quite cool.
Good.
But at the gig, Aaron and Hutchie, my two mates who were there, they obviously spent the night with him getting a drink and stuff. So I never spent as much time as I would have liked to, but I speak to him in WhatsApp most days, so
good.
We're on the same level with stuff. And he understands the kind of... A lot of suppliers you don't really build a personal relationship with.
Yeah.
with this guy, he's on the same level. He's took an interest in my music as well, so it's I feel as if he's the right guy who can take us to hopefully try and get into brands like Harvey Nichols, and maybe we'll work on a 3-5 year plan to try and get in the end and stuff. But obviously you can't predict the future. But
is that your goal though?
That is the goal. We want to try and be tapping into. There was a brand too we always liked, the MKI, and it's very similar. They actually even copied one of our collections as well.
Where are they from?
They're from Leeds.
Right. They're quite minimalistic as well.
They're very minimal. They're a wee bit more kind of hipster than us, a wee bit more out there. But they're in like fucking end Harvey Nichols selfies, and it just shows you it is possible, man, if you use that as a reference. So you just need to keep building it. But I have found it harder to kind of focus as much time in it, because with Ovosi we've always got a team. Aaron, the creative director, he does an amazing job. He does a lot of the creative stuff. He's been taking a lead role in the marketing stuff. And then we've got wee Max, Mel, John was helping out for a good bit. So we do have a good wee team. But for my music, I'm the only person that can make that happen. So I need to try and make sure we've got a team of stuff doing what needs done, and then I can still jump between two without kind of falling behind. So the first year of DJing taking off, I did struggle with that, to find the balance. And then obviously we have Ovosi, my Frazier stuff, Incept, the club night, that I do with Nick, my record label Elementary. So you can end up spreading yourself thin, and you can end up just being so unproductive with, and just, it's weird. You just need to find that balance. So
how do you find it? What's your
just scheduling stuff in, just kind of trying not... Nick takes quite a lead role in all the kind of booking side of stuff for Incept. He'll fill out the itineraries when we're programming, launching events. He'll do all the groundwork for that, and we'll just still work between each other. So it's quite weird. You've got that main role, but you still need to kind of prioritise certain stuff.
Totally. But I find it hard to hand things over. So I suppose Ovosi is your baby, eh?
Aye, that's why I think working with Aaron's always been quite good, because he's managed to we understand each other's stuff, and if I've got a kind of creative idea, if I'm go home and I've got this idea, I can come in the morning and say, I had this idea to do this, and then Aaron can maybe Photoshop stuff, and before you know it, we can just fire an idea together like that. And sometimes we can be in the office and you can just not really be up to too much, just kind of plodding away with emails and stuff, and then all of a sudden you just get this buzz of just like you're making stuff happen, orders are coming in, and it's just like, it's a buzz, because obviously you go through all the stressful parts of just like all the paperwork, the tax, the accounts, just laying out money, maybe not taking as big a salary as you should and stuff. So, but it's so worthwhile when you get that wee buzzy stuff coming through. So
where can folk check you out then?
What's that?
Where can folk check you out online?
Instagram's our main one, at Ovosi Clothing, across all our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and you can always via my page, personal and DJ pages, you can see regular updates as well. We're going to hopefully be doing a stand at Techno this year as well, which has obviously become one of the biggest dance festivals in the UK, so hopefully makes sense to tie in with them with me being a resident there as well. So
brilliant. Sounds like you've got a lot planned, and thanks very much for coming on.
No, pleasure mate. Thank you.
Man. Cheers. So thanks very much for listening to episode 3. You can check it out on Twitter at the DW Podcast 1, on YouTube at the DW Podcast, and all the usual social channels as well. Just like to thank Fraser. Frazier. Frazier. For coming along, and thanks to everyone for tuning in again. Cheers.